Hello and namaste, everybody. Welcome to Vani Athena. Today we are going to talk about a long walk to freedom and what does this mean for Mandela and South Africa. This is actually a speech which was delivered on 10th May 1994. And in this speech, it was attended by hundreds of great leaders of the world who came to be there at the historic moment. It was delivered on 10th May 1994, and you can see on the screen the Pretoria Union Building, which was actually where the ceremony took place. Now, you must remember this place was before long, the black people were not allowed to enter this place of white supremacy, but now there is a rainbow gathering. Now, what does rainbow gathering mean? Rainbow gathering means people of different caste, different religion, different colors, black, white, all have gathered in that place. And that is what he means by rainbow gathering. According to Mandela, the sufferings of South African people was a great human disaster. In the past, the South African black people were not even considered to be human beings. And just because they had a black color, and that's why he calls it a political emancipation. That means political freedom, which means freedom from what? Freedom from the bondage of poverty and other forms of discrimination. Nelson Mandela is convinced that such type of domination, oppression will never be experienced by South Africans, but instead only freedom will remain forever. Another important point that he mentions are the two national anthems that were sung that day. One was Nekosisi Sekelele Africa. Now, and the other one was Die Stem. Now, Nekosisi Sekele Africa is the song sung by the black people for as a country, you have to sing a national anthem. And before that, during the apartheid, they sung Die Stem, which was not exactly reflecting the values of Africa. But Nekosisi Sekele was actually an African national anthem, just like just like many countries who were liberated from the colonial era, they all had a new national anthem. Similarly, um, Africans also had this Nikosisi Sekele, which on that day, on that particular day, many of them did not know because it was new to them since they had been singing Die Stem all along. And so this was significant because it was the national anthem was introduced to the public for the first time in Africa. Now was the turn to understand history and mention it to the people on that day. So he remembers the most important people, although there were many who died during the struggle or who faced hardships, but still he remembers some of them who were exceptional in their field to bring about the changes which Africa got in 1994. So, let us see who were those people. The first person he mentioned is Oliver Tambo. He was actually Nelson Mandela's closest friend and former president of the African National Congress, who led the movement from exile. Then you had Walter Sisulu, a mentor to Mandela and a central organizer for the ANC. The third person he mentioned is Chief Albert Luthulu, former African National Congress president and the first African to win Nobel Peace Prize. He was also very much associated with the movement. Of course, he got the Nobel Prize in 1960. Then he mentioned Yusuf Dadoo, a leader of the Indian Congress, South African Indian Congress, and the South African Communist Party, who played a key role in the movement. After that, he mentions Bram Fisher. He was a lawyer, and he defended Mandela during the Rivonia trial, which was very important at that time. But because of his inclination towards the African movement, he was put in jail and he died in the prison for his activism. And then he also mentions Robert Sobukwe, the founder of the Pan African Congress, and he is actually famous for anti-pass protest. Now, when he remembers these people, it is to show that no movement can actually be successful unless and until you have a history and a strong desire of many leaders and people to achieve that aim. He therefore never forgets, especially on this day, to mention the names of these people. He has his famous quotes like, man's goodness is a torch that will never extinguish or put off. And he does not forget to mention his youth. Remember, he spent his youth in the jail. He said that he wanted to lead a normal life with his family, with his children, with his brothers. But then he found that he was not free to lead a normal life. And he found that he was not the only one, but all the people who were with him, who were his near and dear, all of them did not have freedom. Neither his fellow men nor the African people. So he decided that he would take a political path and he joined the African National Congress. He calls those people who take away others' freedom not to be broad-minded but narrow-minded. Only narrow-minded people can take away the freedom of others. And people lose their humanity if even if you are oppressor or even if you are oppressed. Both lose humanity in such cases. Thank you for listening to this. I am sure this is my first video I have tried to edit it myself. I will be producing better ones. To encourage, please like and comment, and if you want, you can subscribe. Thank you very much.